People are being urged to understand the differences between the new Covid Pirola strain that's been found in the UK, and the common cold. The new variant BA.2.86 has been detected in several countries, including the UK. None of the patients in the UK had travelled recently, meaning it had likely been transmitted within this country. Some samples of the virus were also found in wastewater, according to the latest government release. It was initially reported that there were 2 cases in the UK, one in Scotland and one in England, but since then another has been announced in England with reports suggesting another in Scotland too. The Mirror reports that latest estimates show the number of COVID infections in the UK almost doubled over the last month. Data from the Zoe Health study shows 92,965 new cases of symptomatic infections daily on September 1, compared to the 50,000 a day seen at the start of August. Dr. Nick Finn, Director of Public Health Science at Public Health Scotland, PHS, said, "While we are not concerned about the current levels of COVID-19, the identification of BA. 2.86 in Scotland means that we are now working with health boards to ensure those most vulnerable to illness are protected this winter." With colder weather just around the corner, it's vital to know the difference between Covid Pirola and the common cold. Here is a detailed explanation of the symptoms of both. Covid Pirola symptoms. At the moment, the symptoms of Pirola don't seem to be much different than other Covid strains. The key ones to look out for include sore throat, cough, with or without phlegm, headaches, runny or blocked nose. FDA spokesperson James McKinney said to CBS that the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, believes so far that current COVID tests will be effective in detecting Pirola. The agency will update this page when significant new information becomes available, including when the FDA's analyses identify tests for which performance may be impacted for known SARS-CoV-2 variants, he said. Common cold symptoms. The NHS says that usually a cold goes away by itself without needing any medical attention. It takes around 1 to 2 weeks to feel better after having a cold, and the advice for anyone suffering is to get plenty of rest, stay hydrated and gargle salt water to help a sore throat. If you have a high temperature or you do not feel well enough to do your normal activities, the NHS urge you to try to stay at home and avoid contact with other people until you feel better. The symptoms for a cold include, a blocked or runny nose, a sore throat, headaches, muscle aches, coughs, sneezing, a raised temperature, pressure in your ears and face, loss of taste and smell. The symptoms tend to be the same for adults and children, but they can last longer in youngsters. When to see a doctor. According to the NHS, you can often treat a cold without seeing a doctor. However, they urge you to book an appointment with your local GP if your symptoms do not improve after 3 weeks, your symptoms get suddenly worse, your temperature is very high, or you feel hot and shivery, you're concerned about your child's symptoms, you're feeling short of breath or develop chest pain, you have a long-term medical condition, for example, diabetes, or a heart, lung or kidney condition, you have a weakened immune system, for example, because you're having chemotherapy.